Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Tuesday, 24th day of February 2026. I hope you're all safe and healthy and that your families are safe and healthy and that the needs of you and your family in terms of food, shelter, clothing, as well as health are being met today. Blessings upon those that work in the area of health along with first responders always trying to save lives. Those that keep streets and cities and towns clean and disease free. They're picking up garbage, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women out here trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children victims of child molestation and pedophilia. The ones that are helping those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, sex slavery. Double curses on the perpetrators, profiteers, and perverts that cause these evil industries to exist. Finally, double blessings upon the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States of America. Blessings upon them. For theirs is the kingdom. The New York Knicks are in Cleveland tonight to take on the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Cavaliers are one game behind the Knicks right now in the Eastern Conference. The Knicks are third in the East. Cavaliers are fourth in the East. The New York Knicks are one game behind the Boston Celtics, who are second in the East. Boston is going to be playing Phoenix tonight. It's not looking good for Phoenix tonight. They're shorthanded. They just lost Dylan Brooks. They're not playing any defense. And so I expect Boston to run all over Phoenix tonight. But the Knicks got to take care of their business in Cleveland. Now, Cleveland, as we know, just acquired James Harden from the Clippers. The thing is that the Clippers were trying to create a big three, an old-fashioned big three. I call it old-fashioned because it is now. But they tried to create that with Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and, of course, James Harden. Didn't work out because George and Kawhi Leonard were missing too many games, basically, and that's why it never really materialized. So Harden now goes to Cleveland to team up with Donovan Mitchell. Where with Donovan Mitchell, availability has never been a problem. He's mostly an available guy, and, of course, he is a superstar. So they have those two as the backcourt with Evan Mobley, with Jarrett Allen, and they usually will put in somebody like a Tyson or somebody else in there that will be the fifth starter. Sometimes they even go with Sam Merrill, depending on what their lineup is. So the Knicks, right now, just looking at it statistically, okay, so the Cavs, in NBA.com, they show you 6 statistical categories for each team. And there's points per game, rebounds per game, assists per game, field goal percentage, three-point percentage, and opponents' points per game. The Cavaliers are top 10 in 3 of those categories: points per game, assists per game, and field goal percentage. The Knicks are top 10 in 6 of those categories. Points per game, they're 8th. Rebounds per game, they're 5th. Assists per game, they're 10th. Three-point percentage, they're 3rd. And opponents' points per game, they're 7th. So the Knicks appear to be the superior team on paper. And I think they're the superior team, period. The key thing is here, they got to play Knick basketball. I'm seeing, again, it annoys me, but the media is putting out this narrative that all of a sudden Anthony Towns has changed. That's not, they put out a wrong narrative to get you to believe that. Anthony Towns ain't changed. It's the Knicks that's changed. It's Jalen Brunson that's changed. It's Brown that's changed. They decided to give him the damn ball, and he has responded as you would expect. So that's the change. And if they stick to that, we're going to be in good shape. Because when you give Cat the ball, this is the thing. From the point guard position, when the point guard is taking most of the shots, they don't win. That's just history. Magic Johnson was probably the most successful in terms of championships point guard that ever played the NBA. And he was never the leading scorer on the Lakers. He was known for passing the basketball. And that's the key, making the ball move. And then, of course, he's 6'9", he could see the floor, and he did a lot of things with that basketball, right? So when the point guard is taking the most shots, it's not usually success for the team, okay? The Detroit Pistons with Isaiah Thomas won 2 championships, but I haven't looked at the stats, but I think Joe Dumars was probably lead scorer on that team. So you have to be able to move the basketball. With Jalen Brunson, again, we point out when he takes less than 20 shots now, they're 21-4 when he takes less than 20 shots. And the last two games, we saw him be very deliberate in the beginning of the game and not force anything and let the ball move and let everybody touch it, especially Karl Anthony Towns. Keep feeding him the ball. And then Towns, from his position at the 5, the other 5 has to come out and guard him. And the other 5 usually cannot guard him because he's probably one of the best offensive centers in the league. So you can't guard him, so then you have to double him. And he's very good at finding cutters. And the Knicks have excellent cutters. Mikal Bridges is elite at cutting without the ball. And so then you have OG Anunoby and Landry Shamet, and they're all very good at cutting without the ball. So offensively, if they play through Cat, they're going to be all right. Okay, they're going to be all right offensively. Defensively, again, Cat was defensive player of the game. I thought he played a good defensive game last time, but I think that was more Brown trying to encourage him. And I'm glad it was a good move, a smart move. So he was defensive player of the game last game. He did come up with some big plays down the stretch on the defensive end. But really, it comes back to the basics of protecting your paint and not allowing your opponent to invade your paint. And at the same time, you invade their paint. Okay? And you spray and you score inside the paint. I see Jalen Brunson is a little out of sorts. He gets in the paint, and Brown wants you to spray the ball when you get in the paint. But with Brunson, he's more dangerous when he gets in the paint when he shoots it because he can hit it from all kind of angles inside the paint. Bigger guys on him even. But he don't want to force it, and that's what it's cool. So that's what he has to do tonight. Not force it, let it ball move, play Knicks basketball, and the Knicks have to guard their paint. Now, of course, point of attack is very important, as we know. So you have Brunson has to fight at point of attack. We know Shamet is, Alvarado is, Mikal is. They're going to fight at point of attack to keep the opponent out the paint. When they don't do that, and this is the thing, you say, well, they should know to do that. It's not always here. It's here, and it's in energy. Sometimes they just don't have it. Okay, we've seen that. So we hope the Knicks come with energy tonight in Cleveland. And that energy should be displayed on the defensive end of the floor in protecting your paint and then getting the rebound, not allowing them second and third opportunities, especially on 50-50 balls, getting that ball, okay? So that's important. If they could do that offensively, they don't have to use a lot of energy if the ball is moving. If the ball is moving, the ball's energy is what's creating the offensive energy, and they create open shots, and then the Knicks are getting higher percentage opportunities at their end of the floor on the offensive end. So really, you want the Knicks to bring energy for the defensive end of the floor, for the loose balls, for the rebounds, the defensive rebounds. Mitchell Robinson will be available tonight. The only person on the Knicks that's on the injury report is Deuce. The only person on Cleveland that's on the injury report is Max Strus, who's been there all year. So this is going to be two pretty healthy teams going at it today. I'm hoping Sochan can bring energy on the defensive end of the floor and on the boards today. He's trying so hard to fit in that he's not being himself. Okay, and again, I saw a lot of knuckleheads tripping because he didn't go off the last game when he's just starting. You got to wait. And then some people, Brown was very clear the week before last when he said he's going to give Sochan a good look. They asked the media, said, what about DOR? He said, DOR's had a good year. He's a rookie, but I want to see what Sochan has. Translation, he's going to play Sochan and not DOR for a little while to see what Sochan has, to give Sochan a chance to make his way on this team in terms of fit and show what he could do going in the playoffs. So I'm looking for, definitely when they play San Antonio this coming Sunday, you're going to see Sochan come alive. But I'd like to see it tonight. You know, he has to really bring this energy, and that's really what it is. It's not scoring. It's not necessarily rebound. It's energy. We need him to bring that energy on the defensive end of the floor. And so I'm looking for that from him today. He's going to play rotation minutes tonight. So we'll see what happens with that. If he does, then all the excitement we had about getting him will be justified. So I'm going to give him a chance. And like everybody, see again, media tries to tell you how to think. Many people don't realize that. You're being trained to overreact. You're being trained to look short term. Don't allow them to do that to you. Look longer term. Don't look to X for your narrative. They're creating false ones. Don't believe it. Use your intelligence and look at your basketball and how basketball is played on the NBA level, and you'll learn a lot more. Okay, so tonight we're looking for the Knicks to come with energy on the defensive end, efficiency on the offensive end. We got our squad together. We're just missing one guy, but we're gonna get him. Let's go to Cleveland. And this is the thing: win, lose, or draw. That's what I'm looking for. The energy on defensive end, efficiency offensive end. We'll live with the results, but it'll usually be positive if that's the case. Let's go get it. Talk to y'all soon. Shalom.